Happy Thursday, television family. We have gathered together in front of the warmth and the glow of our television sets to have some more fun today. It is the 15th day of January, 2026. My calendar tells me it's Thursday. It's cloudy and foggy again, 34 degrees here in the big city. We're going to see a little bit of clearing later on this afternoon. The National Weather Service is kind of hedging their bets. They're being quite honest. They said there's a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. The one thing they're very certain of is that big ridge of high pressure, although it's going to move offshore and move up over to the west coast of British Columbia, it's so big that it's really not going to affect us a little bit, but it is going to provide for a little bit of mixing in the upper part of the atmosphere, which could scour out the skies a little bit. Temperature still well above normal. Our normal high this time of the year is 33. Yesterday's low was 34. That pattern continues. The weather forecast is coming up. News, yes. Sports. Kraken looked a little lethargic last night in New Jersey, it's New Jersey. By definition, they're lethargic there. But they did get a point. They went to overtime. They lost to the Devils, but they did get a point, which is important in the world of hockey. We'll have sports. Mike Minotti's got an opinion. That's going to get a few people rankled up, but that's okay. We love Mike anyway. Part two of Eric Granstrom's conversation with the new athletic director at Wenatchee Valley College, Greg Sparling. Good stuff there. And it's Thursday. Pause for pets. Flint the dog needs a permanent home. We'll check in with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. It's cloudy, it's foggy, it's misty. Let's see what we have out there from what we can see. And as you can tell, since we're using that camera from the Cascadian, the Wenatchee Heights camera next to the cross is really kind of a no-go. Ain't going to happen there. That's Shakti's in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Bob's Classic on the right-hand. So that's, I guess, Mission in second. I believe that's correct. I'm not a cab driver, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at right there. So that's a little shot of Mission Street. Number One Canyon, quite a bit of visibility there. That's Fifth Street that you see there as it works its way down towards Mission and Chelan, and the lights of East Wenatchee on the far off side. It's kind of a weird view there because it looks like one big city because you can't see the Columbia River for the most part from that view. Even on a clear day, the Columbia River is barely visible from that camera up Number One Canyon. Let's head on up to Billy Goat, and there is what we like to call the moon high above Billy Goat. And now Malcolm is going to zoom out and pan it down, and there you go. Billy Goat, of course, is the highest of all the cameras, over 7,000 feet in elevation, and that's a pretty cool view there. Sunrise this morning, 7:43 officially. Sunset this afternoon, 4:37. That's 8 hours and 54 minutes of daylight, and it'll be about 2 minutes longer today, Will, than Wednesday was. It was 39, by the way, yesterday, and 34 for the low. And again, our normal high is 33, so our normal low was 1 degree warmer than where high temperature should be. And there's Valley High, home of the Fightin' Pine Cones. The Valley High girls basketball team is undefeated so far this year, I'm told. That's the DOT shed there, just off of Blewett Pass. If you want warm temperatures, go above 3,000 feet. They say there's going to be some mountain areas in our area that are going to see high temperatures in the 60s because the air inversion is going on. The air stagnation advisory continues until 10 o'clock. The only difference between this air inversion, the strong inversion that we would normally have this time of the year, it's usually quite cold. The difference is when the inversion set up and the high pressure built in, we were warm, and so we're still staying warm. So the inversions this time of the year are not uncommon. It happens every year, but usually it's a strong inversion and temperatures not getting above, say, 30 or 31 instead of closer to 40. Strange stuff indeed. From the National Weather Service, your forecast, by the way, brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee. It's where comfort, care, and community come together. Clouds this morning, and then gradually we'll see the clearing, and we'll top off at about 39, pretty much what we had yesterday. It'll be fairly cloudy tonight, 31 for the overnight low. Friday, partly sunny. It's going to be about 50% clouds, 50% sun, but with the longer days and the sun spending a little bit longer time paying us a visit, we're going to be warmer. 43 for the high on Friday. And this is simply not January weather. Sunshine 42 Saturday, sunshine 43 Sunday, sunshine 42 on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A few more clouds Tuesday and Wednesday. They say we may get some precipitation by next week. But again, just to recap, big ridge of high pressure, which is moving around, but it's not going anywhere, and it's so big and so well entrenched. Any weather system that approaches our area gets knocked out of alignment, and we just sit here with what we have. All right, that's what Mother Nature has in store. What's going on in news? Well, I'll let you know in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
It is cloudy, it's foggy, it's a little misty, quoting Johnny Mathis there. It's 34 degrees. We'll see some sun breaks, they tell us, this afternoon, and then we'll have a kind of a tug-of-war between the clouds and the sun come Friday, and then lots of sunshine and temperatures a good 10 degrees above where they should be for the middle of January. It's 8 minutes after the hour. 2 parcels within the Cashmere Mill District will become the home of a new Dollar General store. The Port of Chelan County sold a portion of the former mill site to a retail developer. The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority announcing the sale to NNN Development. They closed the deal on Tuesday. It's a total of 1.87 acres, and they sold it for $310,000. The Port of Chelan County purchased the site in 2008 and carried out a $5 million redevelopment program to construct the 15,000 square foot industrial buildings that are currently there. Other tenants inside the buildings include Blue Spirits Distilling and Hearst International, with more plans to build a final suite in another building on the site to open approximately 5,000 square feet of leasable space. Sheriff Mike Morrison of Chelan County, Sheriff Joe Crete of Grant County, and other law enforcement leaders have joined in opposing a piece of state legislation that would update the eligibility standards for their offices. Senate Bill 5974 sets new rules around certification for a sheriff or a police chief. It limits the role that volunteers can play in law enforcement and requires a sheriff to have spent at least 5 years as a police officer before filing for office. The Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs say those requirements are simply too broad. 12th District State Representative Brian Burnett, who was Morrison's predecessor as Sheriff of Chelan County, he's introduced a parallel but milder bill that would trigger an automatic recall if any sheriff whose peace officer certification is revoked while in office. City of Wenatchee is transitioning to a new utility billing software platform and is going to discontinue its current online payment system at the end of this month. The upgrade is meant to improve online experience and provide flexible account management tools. The city says letters were sent with recent utility bills outlining the changes. The online utility billing system will be temporarily unavailable during the first part of February. The city says bills will need to be paid through the utility billing customer service department. You'll have to do that in person, by phone, or by mail until the new system is up and running. That's expected to be beginning on February 16th. Leavenworth City Council added a new and returning members this week, including a former mayor. Rob Eaton, who led the city, he was mayor of Leavenworth from 2008 to 2011. He was voted back onto the council last fall. He ran unopposed. Mike Bedard, a former firefighter and a Leavenworth hotel owner, he was appointed in 2024 to an unexpired term. Then he won a full term in a contested November election. Both men were sworn in as council members on Tuesday. Rivercom is hosting 2 public Q&A sessions so voters can get their questions answered about the emergency dispatch's sales tax proposal. The measure would increase the local sales tax by 0.1% to improve emergency services in Chelan and Douglas counties and also expand Rivercom's facility. Rivercom is currently operating out of the top floor of the Wenatchee Police Department, and they plan to renovate an existing building for a new communications facility by early 2027. There'll be one session in Wenatchee. That'll be on January 26th at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. There'll be another forum in East Wenatchee on February 2nd. That'll be at the Douglas County Transportation and Land Services Building at the bottom of 19th Street. The fate of the sales tax will be determined during the upcoming February 10th special election. And when the Washington State Legislature came to order, State Poet Laureate Derek Sheffield gave a reading of his own work at the invocation. Sheffield is a Leavenworth resident. He's a Wenatchee Valley College professor, and you remember last year he was selected as the Poet Laureate of our state for a 2-year term. He's the author of 2 poetry collections and the editor of several others, including the Cascadia Field Guide. It's a collection of art, poems, and essays about the Northwest landscape. Sheffield and Washington Governor Bob Ferguson also happen to have known each other since their college days at the University of Washington. They were actually roommates in Seattle back in the day. We'll bring you the full reading of Sheffield's poem either later on today or tomorrow. And that's the news at 12 minutes after the hour. The news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The NCWLIFE Evening News, so you can find out what's going on around here. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Stay in the loop with the evening news. If you don't have traditional television, we're on Roku. If you don't have that, we're on Amazon Fire. If you don't have that, we're on Apple TV. If you don't have that, we stream. If you got YouTube, we're on there. We try to be as accessible as possible. We have an Instagram, we have an X, we have a QR code, it's right there. We have an app, we have an email address. It's news@ncwlife.com. I've run out of things that we have. We also have sports, which is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
The winter prep sports season is here, and NCWLIFE channel has you covered. Follow the Eastmont Wildcats and Wenatchee Panthers right here. Coverage brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Valley Tractor. Follow the action all winter long on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Sports a quarter after the hour. The Seattle Kraken earned a point. If you go to overtime in the NHL, you get a point, but they couldn't pull out the road victory. They lost to the New Jersey Devils. In New Jersey, the final was 3-2. They scored on a breakaway at 3:42 in overtime. That gave New Jersey the victory. Jared McCann and defenseman Adam Larson scored for Seattle. Philip Grubauer stopped 23 shots.
Calm the ship, allow the team to get going. It seems right now both teams are just feeling each other out.
See your starting lines on the screen there is off the face-off. A Hamilton shot redirected in, and they score. Watched here by Andre Palat. Seattle backs it up toward the line. Siegenthaler reached for it. Catton couldn't get it. Now Dunn swings it out to center. Here come the Kraken back in. Here's McCann to Larson. Walks to the slot. Scores! Adam Larson on the prowl, and the Seattle Kraken tie the game at a goal apiece. 11:05 left in this first.
Oh, great pass exiting the zone, and watch McCann. The first attempt's going to be across to Catton. He stays with it. Larson does an excellent job jumping up into the play. Get a good look here as McCann goes for the original pass, stays with it, but it's Larson jumping up, gets himself into a better shooting position. You got Catton standing out in front of Markstrom as well, and a perfectly placed shot.
Devils 0 for their only one on the power play tonight. Only one shot to show for it. Seattle clears it out. Heischer takes a tumble. Tolvanen falls over top of him. Now Luke Hughes denied the zone entry. Gives it up to Jack Hughes. Sweeps it across. Heischer shoots. Heischer scores. Nico Heischer.
A little bit of confusion. Broken play along the wall. Seattle's defense not able to gap up as they normally would to make the lines tougher. You see Lindgren's back. He's trying to get into the lane. Grubauer's beat low on that blocker side, but it's Hughes with the pass going across. Right underneath that blocker side, but it was more so with the confusion along the...
Two shots on goal there. 5:01 into the second. They'll win the faceoff. Dunn, Wines, fires, turned aside, the rebound, scores! Jared McCann follows up the play, and the Seattle Kraken 5 seconds into their power play, tie the game back up at 2.
Getting towards the net, an excellent face-off here. Watches Dunn goes the slap shot, the broken stick, still enough to get a juicy rebound. McCann follows this play up. It goes no stick there for Dunn. McCann right on the spot, able to put that one up above Markstrom as he's trying to get across.
Stevenson off for Eberle. Eberle has it. Now for Dunn. Left side. His shot knocked down by Markstrom. Seattle couldn't find the rebound. The Devils take it away as Jack Hughes skates it out. Nico Heischer into the offensive zone. Heischer cuts in front. A backhand, and he scores.
Kraken will play their 4th game of their 5-game East Coast swing tonight. They'll be in Boston, take on the Bruins. They'll drop the puck at 5 o'clock. It'll be on both King and Kong. They knew going in that Michigan, ranked 4th in the nation, was pretty good, and they proved it. Sold out Heck Edmondson Pavilion. The Huskies kept it close for most of the game, but Michigan pulled away in men's college basketball. The 4th-ranked Wolverines beat the Huskies by 10 last night. The final was 82-72. But on the road, the Husky women knocked off Indiana. Their 2-game losing streak came to an end as the Lady Huskies knocked off the Hoosiers 82-63. Men's college basketball tonight. You have to have CBS Sports, unfortunately, to watch the locals play. Number 9 Gonzaga will be at Beasley Coliseum, so they might even sell that one out with Gonzaga heading down to Pullman. That's at 7 o'clock tonight in men's basketball. Again, only on CBS Sports. 2 women's games of note. San Francisco will be at Gonzaga at 6 o'clock on ESPN+, and Washington State travels to St. Mary's, 6:30 on ESPN+. Prep girls basketball schedule, pretty light. It's Thursday. They don't have a lot of games going on, but there they are. Cascade will be at Moses Lake in a non-leaguer in girls basketball. Tenaska travels to Chelan. Waterville Mansfield will host Brewster. Boys basketball, Tenaska at Chelan, second part of the doubleheader at 7:15. Pateros and Garden City Academy will do battle in Pateros at 4:30, and at 7:30 tonight is Cascade Christian Academy at Waterville Mansfield, and those are just some of the games that people are playing. For your obscure holiday, first of all, a happy 25th birthday to Wikipedia. It's their birthday today. They're 25 years old today, and it's one of the top 10 most visited websites in the world, but it's the only one of the top 10 websites that's actually a nonprofit. Wikipedia is 25 years old today. It's National Pothole Day, National Strawberry Ice Cream Day. I love strawberry ice cream. It's National Bagel Day. Big fan of the bagel, but today we celebrate the thing that you wear on top of your head. It is National Hat Day today. I did not know this until I did my research, but in ancient Greece and ancient Rome, if you were a slave and you were given your freedom, you were given a special hat that you would wear all the time to show everybody that you were now a free man and not a slave. They were known as liberty hats, and they wore them all the way through the French Revolution in the 1780s and 90s. That's pretty cool. It was during the 18th century that wearing a hat became a symbol of wealth, and it was also during that same time that it was considered for men to wear a hat indoors was a faux pas. Women could wear hats indoors or outdoors, but men were supposed to remove their caps when they went outside into inside. Vikings never wore those helmets with the horns that we see all the time. They never wore those. We don't even know where they came from. And since we associate baseball with caps, I mean, you know, football players and hockey players wear helmets. Basketball players don't wear anything on their head, but baseball players wear hats, caps. The top 5 selling Major League Baseball caps. Number 5, the Toronto Blue Jays. Number 4, the Atlanta Braves. Number 3, the Chicago White Sox. The second most popular baseball cap in Major League Baseball is the Dodgers, and not surprisingly, the most popular baseball cap is the Yankees. It is National Hat Day today. Break out your bowlers. 22 minutes after the hour. Today in history, happy birthday to the Pemberton Medicine Company. The Pemberton Medicine Company, you know it by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was incorporated on this date, January 15th, 1889. John Pemberton was a Civil War veteran. He was a colonel in the Confederacy, wounded during the Civil War, became addicted to morphine, and decided I better get addicted to something else, because if I don't, find a substitute for morphine, I got a problem. So he cooked up Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is one of the 30 companies that make up, by the way, the Dow Jones Industrial Averages, has been for years. 1 share of stock in Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola went public with their IPO in 1919, and if you bought 1 share of Coca-Cola in 1919 for $40 and never touched it, just let it roll over with all the dividends reinvested, that one stock would be worth $12 million today. And 20 years ago, 2 Coca-Cola employees tried to sell their recipe to 2 employees of Pepsi. Yeah, for a lot of money. Only Pepsi said, no, wait a minute. So they set up a sting. The employees of Coca-Cola handed over confidential papers and information to the 2 Pepsi employees, only they weren't Pepsi employees, they were FBI agents, because Pepsi told Coke. Because Pepsi said, yeah, we're competitors, but we want to compete fairly. The guys were arrested and went to prison for trying to sell the Coca-Cola recipe to Pepsi. Happy birthday, Coke, 137 years old today. Happy birthday to basketball. January 15th, 1892, James Naismith publishes the rules of basketball. There it is in his own typewritten and handwritten notes, the original rules of basketball, which were sold at auction in December of 2010 for $4.5 million. That's the most ever paid for a sports memorabilia auction. Football evolved, baseball evolved, hockey evolved. Basketball was essentially invented by one guy on this date 134 years ago today. In Boston, Massachusetts on this date in 1919, in the morning it was really cold, and I mean really cold. And not far from Boston Harbor, they had a great big tank full of molasses. It held 2,300,000 gallons worth of molasses, so it was really big, really cold that morning, and then it got really, really warm really, really quick. The temperature skyrocketed something like 30 degrees inside of an hour. The temperature rose so rapidly that the molasses expanded, and the tank full of molasses burst open, and the molasses flowed out into the streets, and 21 people drowned in molasses. Boston Harbor was brown with molasses until summertime, the great molasses flood in Boston on this date in 1919. Happy birthday to the Pentagon. The world's largest office building opened its doors, and they built it very quickly. It didn't take them very long at all. The Pentagon opened on this date in 1943. 6.6 million square feet. If you walk every mile of the hallways, you will walk 17 miles. There's 17 miles of corridors. It has 6 separate zip codes. Steel was in short supply in 1943 because of World War II, so the Pentagon was built with concrete because you need steel to make elevators and make it tall. So they made it out of concrete. There were no elevators at all in the Pentagon until 1998, and because the Pentagon is in Virginia, and Virginia was segregated, they had separate bathrooms for the races, and as a result, the Pentagon has a higher ratio of restrooms to occupants than almost any building in the world. How many people work in the Pentagon? About 26,000 go to work every day. It's big. The Pentagon opened its doors in 1943. We're doing Super Bowls. Let's do Super Bowls. How about the first one? Super Bowl I, the very first Super Bowl. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, the champions of the NFL, the Green Bay Packers defeat the champions of the AFL, the Kansas City Chiefs. The final was 35-10. The AFL was televised by NBC. The NFL was televised by CBS, so they split the difference. The game was televised on both CBS and NBC. Can you imagine that happened today? It was CBS's technical crew, but NBC was able to bring in their own play-by-play and analysts. The original broadcast tapes from NBC and CBS are gone. They erased them. Broadcast tapes in 1967, professional high-quality broadcast videotape, was terribly expensive. They never saved anything. They erased it and reused it, so it's all gone. LA wasn't even awarded the game until December 1st, and you're going to love this about Super Bowl I. 33,000 tickets went unsold. You could have walked up to the gate at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum on January 15th, 1967, bought a ticket, and go in and watch the Super Bowl. Like you could do that today. The first Super Bowl played on the state. Super Bowl 12, sometimes called Super Bowl XII, Superdome. New Orleans Cowboys beat the Broncos. The final there was 27-10. This is the first ever indoors Super Bowl at the Superdome. NFL loves the Superdome. They played a lot of Super Bowls there. The first Super Bowl that was played in prime time on the East Coast, and the first Super Bowl where the two teams had met in the regular season. On the last game of the regular season that year, the Cowboys beat the Broncos in Dallas, and then they would play again 4 weeks later in the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 12 on the state 1978. Birthdays. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., born in the state in 1929. Of course, one of the giants in this country's history. MLK Day will be this Monday. His actual birthday is today, and he only lived, of course, to 39 years old, born on this date in 1929. The lead vocalist, the primary lyricist, then one of the founding members of the legendary rock and roll band Lynyrd Skynyrd, Ronnie Van Zant, born in this date in 1948, died in the plane crash with the other members of the band back in 1977 at the age of 29, but we got the music. And Drew Brees. Drew Brees is 47 years old today. He is either first or second all time in the NFL. He's either number 1 or number 2 in most career passing yards, most career pass completions, highest career completion percentage, most pass completions in the season, highest single season completion percentage, highest single game completion percentage, most consecutive games with a touchdown pass. In other words, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He is 47 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Good news, I didn't think we were going to have time to get Derek Sheffield's poetry reading in during the invocation from the joint session of the state legislature. We are going to have time for that. So we got Mike Minardi's opinion coming up. We got Eric Granstrom's conversation with Greg Sparling, part 2. He's the athletic director of Wenatchee Valley College. Good congratulations to Greg. He's a great guy. And we'll have Derek Sheffield's poetry reading. It's all good stuff. But first things first, Flint the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager, and today I have with me Flint. Flint is our 3-year-old husky mix, and he's a very beautiful boy. He's shedding a little bit right now, but it's really soft. Yeah. We've had Flint for about 2 months now, which is a long time for this active boy. He really likes going on walks and running and doing the zoomies, and he loves playing, and he's so much fun. He's got a lot of personality, along with the fur. Flint loves to play, and he loves to play fetch. That's his favorite. Loves when we throw him balls. Yeah. And he loves stuffed animals and licking your face. Yeah. He's got a lot of puppy in him. Flint came to us as a stray, so we don't know anything about his background. We don't know how he is with cats. He has a few dog friends here, but he can be selective, which, as usual, is why we always suggest that you bring your dog in, if you have one, so that they can meet and see if they're both as goofy as the other. Flint loves belly scratches. He just loves interacting with people, however you want to. I think Flint would be a great family dog, especially for an active family because he's so active. He'd be great on hikes and runs and just goofing around. Maybe small kids. He's a little jumpy, but not too much. So I don't know, maybe older kids would be better. But he is a sweetheart. He's really affectionate, and I think that any family would fall right in love with this boy. Also, Flint's adoption fee is already paid for, so he is ready to go. He's got all of his shots, he is neutered, and his adoption fee is covered, yes, by a generous donor. So, if you'd like to come meet our Flint, we are open from 12:30 to 6, Thursday through Tuesday, and we would love to introduce you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
You need a good brushing, buddy. Jeez.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper quiet ride in zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. For years, our president has complained that foreign governments are releasing their criminals and sending them to us. Now, whether this is true or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that almost immediately upon assuming the Oval Office, the man releases 1,500 convicted felons back into the American population himself. And then he has the gall to say, I pardon J6 people who were assaulted by our government. They didn't assault. They were assaulted. And what I did was a great thing for humanity. January 6th, an event in which 140 police officers were injured and 5 ultimately lost their lives. And releasing those responsible was a great thing for humanity? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Beyond that, as you envision trying to help this program and get it back on its feet and get it, looking towards the future, how do you do that? It's okay, we're taking care of business on campus, you're taking care of your coaches, you're taking care of your student athletes, but then, like you said, reaching out to the community and getting some people to write some checks. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right?
It does, but we also have to have the partnership. They got to see value in what we're doing, and that's what we're going to do is tell our story. We're looking to make a video and saying, this is what we need, and this is where we're going, this is where we've been. And at the end of the day, with Sandy and Greg and Braden, I told them anytime they need to put me in a car to go, because they know everybody in this community. Right. And if I go knock on the door, I'm not going to get the same success rate if I'm walking in with Sandy, Greg, or Braden. I mean, it's facts, and I think it's going to take time. But I think over time, I think Sandy's opened a bunch of doors for us right now. Braden has, and also Greg. I mean, we're looking to rename the court here. And we're also, looking to brand this building, and it's going to take time. And, everybody wants it now, and I want it now because I have a vision, 365 days. I want the banners up. I want the championship banners. We have one. They took them all down. We got to find them. If not, we need to have them all made up. So, I think, my next step is our website. Our website has been, down for a while, and now we're getting it branded and all that. And hopefully here by the end of the month, we'll have it up, and, we'll be doing features on students. So the student athletes feel good about what they're doing, and, keeping the community up, have advertising on the bottom. And yeah, we do need checks. We do need sponsorship. We do need help. And, it's not going to go to the black hole, because I've been to a couple of meetings and, well, it's going to go to the black hole. No, it's not going to go to the black hole. Trust me. At Central, I didn't have a lot of money. At Fairbanks, I didn't have a lot of money. But, we got to stretch our nickels into dollars. And it starts with the community, starts with the campus and the student athletes.
Part of that, you talked about the website and just having people be able to gain access to your programs and know what's going on. When I tried to reach out to you, I went to the website, and there's not even a phone number for the athletic department here on the website. You need support within, right? And I mean, and that doesn't fall on the athletic department in the past. I mean, I would think that the Wenatchee Valley College website, part of it is athletics. They should be supporting it.
Well, they're going to rebrand theirs. End of April, they're going to have a brand new one, and hopefully with our sidearm deal that we do through the athletic department. Every college in America uses sidearm. We just need to get the manpower, and we also got to get the resources to update it daily. And I want to make sure our student athletes feel right. So after the game, there's a write-up on there. Hey, such and such had 25 points. It was a big, huge win over X college, and also we can feature sponsors, and what sponsors want is to see their name and also be able to promote them over the microphone here at the game, and do everything we can to build a partnership where everybody feels good about it.
The NWAC did outside review of the program and the funding and monies and where it's going and all that kind of stuff. That's prior to you. But, I mean, it told a story that was not a healthy program. Part of that was Title IX issues. How are you on that front, making sure that men and women both have the same opportunities?
We're doing everything we can. I saw the same report you did, and we have sister sports, men's and women's basketball. We have soccers, we have baseball, softball. The outlier is volleyball. So, we have one more women's sport than men's. And like I told them in my interview when I met with the coaches, is I'm going to treat every sport the same. Obviously, baseball and softball are probably going to have larger numbers, so we're going to have to probably give them a little bit more piece of the pie for travel and maybe some gear. But everybody's equal here. We want to make sure all our student athletes feel wanted and show their value. And it's going to take time. Like I said, I'm still trying to meet all our student athletes. Like last night at the game, I got to meet a bunch of our guys and girls, and it's nice to be able to have my office right here in Smith's gym, and my door's always open, and it's nice to have the student athletes stop by and say hello.
How hard do you think it'll be, because this is your first chance to be an athletic director? I mean, you're a coach.
Yep.
That's your background.
Yep.
How hard will it be not to want to be coaching too?
Oh, trust me, sitting there watching the game last night, and I sit there and you just run it through your head what I would do in that situation, but I have full confidence in our men's and women's basketball coach. They got the jobs late, and recruiting, if you don't have time to recruit, we all know that's a major piece of the puzzle. And I know they're actively recruiting. The student athletes that are here, they're playing extremely hard. We had a tough loss last night against Big Bend, and now we're rolling down to play Yakima College down in the Toyota Center on Saturday. So it's a quick turnaround. I mean, it's a Wednesday, Saturday. Like I tell the coaches, don't beat yourself up. We got to move on to the next one, and when the lights come on, let's make sure the kids are ready to go.
As you move through this new position for you, there was also about the health and safety of the student athletes and a trainer position that was open for a while. I guess that's been taken care of prior to your arrival here. I imagine, being a former athlete yourself, and then being in the position you are now, that's of preeminent concern for you too.
100%. I'd said in my interview, all three of my interviews, is she's probably the most important person in this athletic department. one, it's for liability, but two, it's she's getting the student athletes back on the floor, back on the court, back on the field, wherever they need to be. And you know, she's a one-man band. Watch how I say she's a one-person athletic training department, and she's running through 150 student athletes, from little boo-boos to knee rehabilitations to whatever she needs to do. And she's doing a great job. And there's talking about losing her for funding, and I'm going to be a big advocate. We need to have a student athlete or athletic trainer for the student athletes.
As you move forward, how can we help you now? I mean, you're by yourself in your office, right? You don't have. Do you have an assistant? Do you have
I don't have an assistant right now, but hopefully it's in the works. And anything helps. I mean,
there's game administration that goes on. Yep. I know you probably lean on some of the student athletes and just students on campus. Hey, can you come help? With
Levy, who was the acting athletic director till I came on board, has been phenomenal help. I mean, without him, I would be sinking. Levy stepped up and has helped me on all aspects. From the snack, concession stand to ticketing, stuff that I didn't know that. He's really helping me with all the paperwork behind the scenes. And, I'd love to be able to find a way to keep him an hour a day or 2 hours a day, but he also has his job on campus. But, Levy's done an excellent job. Aaron, baseball, has helped me out a lot, but, they can only give me so much. And, part of my, negotiations at the beginning of the year was that I was going to get an administrative assistant for at least a couple hours a day. And that way he or she can do a lot of the paperwork and allow me to go out and raise money and do what I need to do. Like, yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, it's the first time I put on a sporting event here for a men's and women's game, and I was sleepless the night before, and I had to go to Costco and get stuff at the snack bar. I got to make sure the referees are good to go. All the locker rooms are set up. I mean, it's a lot more than just flip the lights on, throw the ball up. There's a lot more behind the scenes that I didn't even realize until I was put in that situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You need someone to run the scoreboard, right? I mean, all those things. I know that the local high schools, Wenatchee, Eastmont, have booster clubs to help with the sporting department. I know Wenatchee Valley Foundation is out there. Is there a booster club for sports for Wenatchee Valley College?
We're in the works of it. We're going to call it an advisory board. We're currently working on a name, and we'd like to get, a handful of people that want to come and work and help us, put on golf tournaments, basketball tournaments. We want people that are going to be invested. We want people that are going to go out and help us. I mean, we can put a committee together. We can go down to a local restaurant and put all this stuff on napkins and all that. But for us to be successful, we got to have a plan. And I think if we get the right people on our advisory board, and if there's local community members that are interested, reach out to me. We just want to make sure that we get the right people in there that can help us raise money. The bottom line is if we raise money, it gives the student athletes a better experience, gives the coaches a better experience, and it gives the community who's watching our product a better product to watch on the floor.
How do we get a hold of you?
Well, my email is gsparling@wvc.edu. Send me an email and I'll respond, as soon as possible. You can also reach me. I'll be honest, I don't know my phone number in the office yet, but you can look up on the website. I am now on the website.
Oh, okay.
So that's a bonus. So my phone number's on there. But anything that anybody could help or any ideas, I'm open. But like I want to thank President Harrison, Dr. Garza, Levy, Aaron. You can go Sandy, Greg, and Brayden. I mean, I think with that group, I think we can get this thing on the right path. Is it going to happen overnight? No, but it's going to be baby steps, and hopefully the baby steps become bigger steps. And 365 days, we're in a lot better space.
So we understand. You're probably kind of like this right now. You're floating. And I know the eventuality is you want to look at facilities, you want to look at all those things, long term, and what you can do to make things better for those student athletes to come here and have better chips in the pot to be able to recruit better and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm not going to even talk to you about that right now because I understand you've got more games to play, and we wish you the best of luck and welcome aboard, and however we can help out, happy to do so.
Thank you so much. I appreciate coming up and love to build a partnership with you guys, and anytime you want to come for a game or whatever, let us know.
All right, there you go. Greg Sparling, he's the new AD, new man in charge, and he's needing a lot of your help. So if you can help out, it would be much appreciated. It's right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
What will keep us? Every pack-heavied step over sandhoppers and weed-slicked rocks, through driftwood scatters and the chill of tide waters, over wooded headlands as wildfires blaze north, south, east. Every step says, stay. I know mermaids aren't real, Kelsey says, but Daddy, look, holding a whip of bull kelp, whose light bulb face is a brown-green eye under ribbons of translucent hair. We trudge our miles, stepping over oscillating anemones in sunlit pools to pause at hole-in-the-wall and let their tentacles tongue our dipped fingers. And what's this holographic sheen? Not oil and not plastic we see, but a rainbow's iridescence beaming from a plant. Over teeth of barnacled rocks poking from pools of sand crabs and sculpin, through foamy maroons, emeralds, violets, tangles of surf grass and lettuce cushioning our steps, we hike. Flies parting briefly for our ankles as we take in the gleaming curve of the otter's tail as she rises and dives into clear shallows, a pliable needle threading us and them, water, land, and rippled sky, where the numberless legs of sandpipers twiddle their skittery flocks always just ahead. For even the reek slap of rot from a carcass too far gone for ravens or gulls, we hike. For our own place among the eaters and the eaten, pricking at us as we see how wide the jawbone, how long and curved the fangs. For the piping stutter of a crow-mobbed eagle landing on a shaggy bough, for the lightest touches of day mist on our skin and our headlamps in the night, lighting the tracks of slugs, silvering up every spruce trunk's loom. We hike for what will keep us if we keep it. On a bare stretch of sand ahead, a boulder splits into two bear cubs whose dark heads swivel our way before they turn as one toward the woods and lope out of sight, to go on in the multitudinous dream we need to be beyond our reach. Out past the breaking lines of waves we can just glimpse through binoculars, where the rounded humps of humpbacks slope one way and gray whales the other. 60-some otters floating on their backs have knit themselves into a living net. Weft, warp, leg, paw, kelp blades fixed by holdfasts to the deepest rocks. What is it they catch in their drift of sleep amid mists of rolling webs and stars? And what now as they ride day's swells in and out of sight in the rhythm of our own breathing? Our hike ends at the beginning of what the map calls Wedding Rocks, where people of the macaw long ago carved the round faces of sun and moon among fishers and fish, a whale, an orca? What feelings spilled through them as they knelt in these same unceasing sounds of waves, chip after chip falling away? We trace the grooves with our fingers, 5 centuries of wind, laced with the wet snorts and hunger cries of passing animals. Kelsey kneels over some new swirl of shell and exclaims. Katie says not a word, drawing with her stick something in the sand we can't yet see. Thank you.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
It was 34 degrees when this show started. It's still 34 degrees. Hasn't really moved very much at all, but there's now starting to see a little bit of mixing in the air. Wind is starting to pick up. We have a north wind at 12 miles an hour. You can feel it when you head outside. And that's good news because we've been under the influence of this ridge of high pressure. And they now tell us, the National Weather Service says this ridge, which has just moved just off shore, just to the west of our state, is going to stay around until at least Tuesday of next week. It's going to be around here a while longer, but it is going to allow some upper level winds to scour out the skies. So starting tomorrow, we're going to see quite a bit of sunshine. But check this out. If you get to about 3,500 feet and above in elevation, it's going to feel that the temperatures are going to be in the 50s. That's a live shot of Billy Goat right now. That camera is over 7,000 feet in elevation, so that gives you what the cloud deck looks like up in the Billy Goat area. This is where the Methow River meets the Columbia River. There's a perfect example of that. You get up above the cloud cover, they're going to see temperatures in the mountain passes in the 50s. Mission Ridge is going to see temperatures in the 50s. We're not going to get that warm, but what we are going to see, and they're kind of hedging their bets a little bit, but what we are going to see is quite a bit more sunshine. We've been under the influence of the inversion, and we still have the inversion warning until 10 o'clock tomorrow, the air stagnation advisory, if you will. But here we go. Clouds this morning. We're going to see some sunshine this afternoon. We'll get up to 39. Our normal high is 33. It's just been warm. 31 for the overnight low tonight. We'll do about 50% clouds, 50% sun on Friday. We'll get up to about 43. It'll be a little bit more like today. We'll see quite a bit of sunshine by Friday afternoon, certainly by sunset, right around, say, 5 o'clock or so. And then Saturday, sunny 42, Sunday, sunny 43. If you have Monday off for the holiday, sunshine 42 degrees. No real change at all for the foreseeable future. Have a good and safe Thursday. Start your weekend with us tomorrow. Bye-bye.